relocate it and retrieve it from the trash. I have to talk somebody from IT. Ideally, we can see the activity. The activity should have been at your end only. Can you take your drive? Because if any activity is done in this drive, automatically on your Google Drive, your action will display. Can you take in your Google Drive? There is an option that is found. Yeah, I can see your screen. I can see your meeting. I just try to do my best. So it is not there. So if anybody has deleted or acted on it, when you yourself acted on it, if you go back to your drive, it doesn't get it. Can you check in your drive? Your Google Drive? This is not your Google Drive. Oh, everybody else think this is not your Google Drive, this is my Google Drive. Why other people go to their side? You copied everything. I think so. Google Drive. told us that. Participant told us yes.
वरदः शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
Please join us for the recitation of the Gayatri Mantra. Introduction of our today keynote speaker. Designation and organization, senior trainer and consultant at Zen International Systems. Academic qualification, BE, Instrumentation and Control Engineering. PhD in Management Science. Her area of specialization and experience, IRCS certified lead auditor trainer for various management systems, registered auditor and trainer for quality, environment and safety, master trainer for Z and assessor for Z, green productivity specialist and cyber security, digitization and industry 4.0, circular economy trainer, 35 years in certification field, patented design development. Please welcome Sanjuni ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. My pleasure getting connected on this. Could I count on you for sharing my screen? I mean the PPTs.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you.
And slide is visible?
Yeah, go to full screen mode just now. Yeah, thank you. Good morning all and welcome on this very special day, 21st December. You all are aware it's a yoga day and we are all gathered together for this Sadgun Sang. We are leading the world in yoga, so we are leading in sustainability. If you are aware, in the G20 very recently, which took place in India, where we hosted it, we have launched a mission life. So India is very well known and leading the world for sustainability. This is my small contribution in the drive, and I'll have an appeal that you all please join and take it up. Thank you, ICS, for taking up this topic and giving me an opportunity to be empaneled on this August day with this August gathering. Shall we go next? Vaibhav, next slide, please. Yeah, this was my introduction. We can skip it now. Next. In next 1 hour, 15 minutes approx, I'm going to talk about what is sustainability, why sustainability, what are the drives happening across the globe, what is the Government of India initiatives, what are the benefits and the limitation, what are the action plans, because ultimately anything that we invest our time should yield some returns, isn't it? We'll have 15 minutes open house and at 12:30 we're going to conclude the session. Is that okay?
Yes,
Fine, we'll go next. Please scroll down. Yeah. Please understand why we think of sustainability. We have realized that the rainfall pattern has been changed. There are a lot of issues coming up where there is a global warming reaching to an unbearable phase. There were floods which was not caused by the natural thing, but then they were caused because of the Mithi River getting blocked with the plastic disposal issues. The number of alarms the earth has given to us, and unless we act on it, we are bound to face some consequences thereof. Till date, nobody, no scientist has invented any other earth in the whole universe. So if we have to survive, we need to have the only planet what we have taking care for our survival. So sustainability is a continuation. Sustenance, the literal meaning is we throughput whatever you're doing. So for us to do what we are doing, we are in business, we are in academics, we are in NGO, whatever we are doing to continue to sustain and live. It's not our own life, but a generation thereafter. We need to control our uncontrolled behavior. So sustainability focuses on all the adverse impact the human activities have on the Mother Earth. So the whole goal of sustainability is to have revisit to our activities and control them so that they have minimum adverse impact and explore the positive impact that we can contribute. So we have started industrialization. We have industry 1, 2, 3, 4. Now industry 5 is going on. In all this, we were least bothered about what waste we are generating. There was social economy and technology always being challenged. We have never bothered about how far we are disturbing the natural cycles. See, there are carbon and the GHG gas continuous, but there are methods to absorb them also. But when we started producing it, we were not bothered about the sink being generated. A very common sink is a tree, and we started deforestation. So the whole carbon cycle was disturbed, the whole rain cycle was disturbed, and we ended up into having a lot of garbage resulting and impacting our own life. This impact, an extremely adverse impact of industrialization was witnessed when we all were subjected to the Union Carbide incidents in Bhopal. And thereafter, we had the Environment Protection Act. Most of the countries have launched the EP Act and they are trying to control and manage their environmental impact, typically the adverse impact. Shall we go next? Technically, all of you might be having some points to add. You can use a chat message and we'll be addressing all these issues by the end of the day. I mean, by the end of the session. In February 2024, all of you who are familiar with ISO or any other, for that matter, management system standard, all management system standard have been revised for clause 4.1 and 4.2 to address the climate change impact. So now, globally, not only the UN directives, but also the certifying agencies, the certifying implementing authorities are serious about the climate change. QMS, which has almost reached to anybody and everybody across the globe, is now talking about the climate change. 2015 was due for revision, and we were about to revise it at 2025. But a standard committee, technical committee 176, didn't stay till 2025. In February 2024 itself, they've released a revision. Why such a hurry? Because the consequence was very severe and high. So, all of us who are talking about management systems need to consider what are our industrial impact on the environment and how best we are taking care of the interested parties' needs and expectations. Those of us who are trying to export to Europe or to USA have to face the requirement of the CBAM, cross-border carbon adjustment mechanism. If you look at the environment definition, it says the land, water, air, flora, fauna, human, and the interaction thereof. As I was discussing, no other element in environment other than human being can cause an adverse impact, can disturb the cycles. So the fact still remains, if you are the attributes or the cause for damage, we should take the responsibility and mend what went wrong. So now we are going to talk about the direct and indirect impact of what we are doing in the whole process, right? So we are going to talk about direct and indirect impact of our task, going to take the responsibilities, and going to start working for the improvisation. Simple industry registration like an MSME registration or the Udyam does call for having what pollution control or prevention means you're utilizing. All the industry consent categories are revised. We have needed we look for legislation to combat the adverse impact. The whole focus is revised from conformance to compliance to commitment. All right. So whether we like towards sustainability because of the country laws, the international global pressures, and likewise. Shall we move on? So the growth is not any nobody is against growth and promotion, but we are talking about sustainable growth. While growing, we should not take environment for granted. We should address the environmental concern and follow the socially responsible practices. And that is where the mission life plays a major role. We never had a use and throw culture. We always had an introspection. We always believe in meditation, yoga, and finding the solution from inward and the rest of the world. We never exploited the nature. We always explore what best can be done with the help of nature. So, something that thought process, that attitude, and that socially responsible practices we need to adopt again, along with the economic cooperation. So, when we are talking about sustainability, there are three pillars that we have to address formally. Then, call it as a purpose. We are in the business for the purpose of profit. People is the safety and issues related to all people, well-being of all the society in general, and planet is indeed the environment. So today there are more than 600 different sustainability reporting initiatives and the standard, and everybody across the globe is seriously addressing different framework and guidelines around the world. Now, are we going to launch one more new standard? Yes, India, the BIS committee, where I am a member, is also formulating a new standard, but this focus is including even the MSMEs and trying to simplify our own carbon credits and our carbon bonds so that we don't have to count on some other countries' laws and regulations. All our researchers like BARC and TIF, or Baba Atomic Research and Tata Fundamental Research, are having alignment with the environment. We are using a technology which is more green technology or a green technology. In APO, that is Asian Productivity Organization, we come together and encourage such projects. Shall we go next? SEBI has introduced BRSR, that is the companies beyond certain turnover have to have their profitability declaration, which was very common. Now they also have to declare their environmental impacts. And they are year on year going to add new companies. Naturally, when I'm talking about new companies addition, we are also talking about MSMEs included. So this is going to spread, and by BRSR, that is by including and empowering companies for responsible and sustainable behavior, we are going to cover the whole industrial regime. These guidelines are readily available and you can Google it out. Shall we go next? The fundamental part is we should have a reporting mechanism. Basically, each country has their own reporting mechanism because they have their own control programs. So BRSR is one of the reporting program being followed by India. But those who are having a global counterparts, they follow their own reporting mechanism. The global reporting mechanisms are entirely based on the carbon footprint you generate, and they're derived from the emissions, the stack emissions, or the waste generations, or the sources of emission, as well as the sinks that you produced. So ultimately, we are trying to develop a transparent, accurate information about companies' sustainability posture and project it publicly so that the society can build the trust. You can have a corporate reputation as a green company. You can own the accountability that this is earned, the profit is earned without impacting the environment, and can act as a positive change catalyst. The whole idea of having this sustainability reporting, verification, validation, certification
Huh?
is exclusively to demonstrate the
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ পাশে গোটে ইয়েটা ওয়েবিনার আটেন্ড করছি 11টা ଥିଲା 11টা দেইলা
Weber, can you mute others? Thank you. It's an appeal for all of you. Unless you have any specific question, please mute yourself. So now we are talking about de-risking the purchase, that is going for a green procurement, having a competitive advantage by having green initiatives, declaring what achievements you have and what achievements you aim at, identifying an opportunity for operational improvements. It also has a cost element, that is cost saving. By reducing energy consumption, we save a lot of money as well. So it has a lot of government incentives also attached to it. In India, we have Urja Mitra, or if you go to BEEE website, you incentives that are associated with energy or the green energy. So ultimately, all our socially conscious employees and the stakeholders like consumers, partner investors are now focusing on the sustainability that we can claim through report in your. Shall we go next? Technically, reporting is one part of it. What we have to do is correctly reporting it. There are a lot of scams and frauds coming up, and there are errors in reporting which are not intentional. So the degree of accuracy also matters a lot. So the verifier or a validator who comes to verify your report, they firstly start with the materiality. What is critical to your business? If you are polluting company and saying energy consumption, then this is not correct. What should be your focus is on pollution control. So it gives first the materiality assessment, then the reporting where you have used the proper instruments, proper methodology, and then just to let you know what are the other avenues and correctness of the data. For example, if the employee, the air or the sea voyage is a big source of carbon footprint. And most of the shipping companies are now going for methanol or a fuel substitute to reduce these things because we cannot stop the business. The cruises cannot be stopped, the flights cannot be stopped. But now they're talking about green fuel substitutes. So you'll have to really look into a scope or the boundary mechanism to identify which area you're focusing, what are the facilities, which are the manufacturing sites, how does the data you have gathered, and how you will access and collect it. Are these methods scientifically correct? And you can work on it. Most of the organization start their sustainability reporting with a simple spreadsheet survey and documentation. just to get the concept. However, dedicated softwares are readily available. Whether you use a software or otherwise, see to it your data is clean, sanitized, reliable, and accurate. Shall we go next? There are risks and opportunities associated when you start talking about environment, and you have to have your objectives set, because anything which is an improvement is always based on the PDCA, and the first step of planning is setting up your objectives. So first identify what are your stakeholders needs. If you're going to export and Europe is your major client, you have to look at the CBAM alignment. Prepare your progression plan for growth and profitability. Nobody challenges that. But at the same time, see to it a minimal adverse impact and environment is also taken care of. So please align your business opportunities, demands, as well as the risks that are associated, under and strategies analysis. I'm sure you all are, and you government of India, especially Maharashtra, or a digital factory, people invest these substitutes more eco-friendly or um, aligned. We have simply karakuri. Karakuri is a Japanese concept where they use the natural gravity and the slant table or simple machine like wheels. Minimize. So you can use it before automation. But when you're thinking to the positive contribution towards environment. All your four M's, that is man, material, method, machine, should get aligned to your strategic goals. Also look at the QMS principles. If you just look at it, starting with customer focus, leadership, employee engagement, process approach, followed by a continual improvement, fact-based decision making, and relationship management, they all can be aligned to environment. So follow a process approach where direct and indirect aspects are identified. You are evaluating the risk-based thinking and using any of the four T's, that is technology, treatment, transfer, and a toleration with standby, can always ensure a continual improvement. So these are some of the thoughts I wanted to ponder on. Shall we go next, Weber? Are you familiar with these jargons? I'm sure you must be using it for your quality management, environment, and likewise. The idea is most of these big corporates are talking about the net zero. Now, whatever we do, there is an energy element. So we cannot stop our activities to become net zero. So what are we going to do? Firstly, you're going to reduce the energy consumption, and we are going to have an alternate sources for energy to compensate or contribute back using a environment friendly way. So the solar, the wind, and the related things are picking up in a big way. The analysis for a footprint like the CO2 equivalent per unit revenue, release of toxic substances, air quality indicators, and GHG reduction project. You can always analyze your to take things in your way. We are also talking about ZLD, that is liquid discharge, where you're focusing on water, the quality as well as the usage, recycle, reuse. In fact, sustainability has all the three R's linked to it. We're also talking about the solid waste or hazardous waste being controlled, and cost calculation dashboards where we can understand what are the further scopes where you can improvise. And indeed, Government of India has got the rewards and recognition through the lean scheme as well as the Z scheme. Z scheme is called as a sustainability scheme for the MSME exclusively, and it has got a lot of incentives and benefits tagged with it. Right from 50,000, which is a minimum incentive you get, up to 20 lakhs or 40 lakhs, depending on the category, and investment refunds are established. So, those of you who are interested in marching towards sustainability, cost and budget is no longer a constraint. Shall we go next? What matters is our thought process or the direction. If you're talking about a simple example, a candlesticks, all of us have seen it, used it, experienced this. When it is held vertical, it can enlighten the whole thing. But if it is slightly tilted, it starts eating away. The whole energy that is generated start corrupting the whole metal, I mean the wax itself. So there are losses being generated. And for some reason, if it is pulled reverse, the same support system like wax can quench the light. Same thing happens in your business. If you don't have a correct direction, you're going to end up into losses and indeed end up into closure of your business like Union Carbide if you're not serious about your business. So it is a role of a top management that matters a lot when it comes to exploring the sustainable initiatives. However, it is not only the top management. They can provide you all the support system, but adhering to it is your responsibility. So it is top down as well as bottom up approach. And any company, any organization going for sustainability need to have both these top down and bottom up approach implemented meticulously. Are we together? If yes, we'll move on to the next slide. Weber, next slide, please. What is the scenario across the globe? That was another thing we were trying to understand when we are talking about sustainability. Basically, there are a lot of cases of greenwashing. That is, people have not produced any carbon footprint, just generated a fake report. In fact, there is a very common viral WhatsApp message where people are talking about addressing to the various fraud projects. More than 1 billion euros fraud is being detected. There were no absolutely invalidated report, and they have generated the money over. So this false claim of carbon credit are unavoidable. The business versus ethics is another issue that is coming up when we are talking about sustainability. And everywhere we have flagships. Let's not talk about it. Let's forget the negative aspects and forget the legal bindings on us like CBAM in Europe or USA. Forget about the carbon bond and the benefits associated. But let us not forget our adverse impact if you are going to kill the future of our own generation, and be sensitive to the adverse impact we have on the environment or the Mother Earth. All right? Money is one part, business is one part. But what is more important is commitment towards society, commitment to our next generation, isn't it? Think about it. Shall we go next? Vaibhav, next slide. Thank you. So technically, all these 600 and all standards which are launched across the globe, they focus on what is to be reported, what are your targets. The logic is what gets measured gets controlled and improved. So you have these measures defined, You should have your self-check and KPI defined, and you should have a strategic alignment to the whole process. Your performance measures need to be seriously defined and looked into, that your stakeholders should have confidence in your activities. You should go beyond regulatory compliance, but that's a bare minimum thing you should be adhering to. Otherwise, the risks of closures are unavoidable. So, as a part of business risk management and business continuity, as a part of cost saving and the brand image, you guys need to work on sustainability and work systematically by setting the goals, targets, KPIs, actionable points so that it can be easily implemented. Maybe difficult, not very easily, but yes, you have to implement it. Shall we go next? Yeah, technically, you can start with your energy efficiency. Energy conservation is going to give you a lot of dividends in terms of money. You should do with your load calculation. Are you really utilizing the requisite load? Look at the static load, look at the variable load, look at the various wastages, trend analysis. If required, look at the PF correction. Go for engineering analysis, backed up with diagnostics, actually taking up the readings. Conduct the energy audit. Have some wind hybrid out of the Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. See, the thing is, there's a parallelly other meeting going on, so there could be a network glitch. Please bear with me today. So we are talking about the alternate resources that we have and the methodologies that are used to have sustainable contribution, like cleanup technologies, clean technologies, the GHG trading, that is the carbon bond that you can have. And UN has also, in a big way, started doing the ESG drives. In fact, ISO has got a standard on ESG also, which is Working Committee 48. I am a member of it, and those of you who are interested, I can always get into detail and support you all these things. Indian Standard on Sustainability, as I said, that is a dedicated work committee, which is an environment wing, which I'm also associated. And those of you who are interested, we can have a detailed session, right? Shall we go next, Weber? Yeah, every opportunity for energy and cost saving is a benefit. And focus on what are your priorities. That is the 80-20 rules. The primary identification of an opportunity should help you in getting into better and better returns in terms of environment as well as the cost. Shall we go next? The simple solutions which the session that I can share with you of fuel, go for more alternate fuel efficient solutions. These projects are very commonly used and they are valid as a green lean projects. You can also go for the alternate energy projects like solar and likewise. Go for your DG sets where you can have simple engineering improvements and efficiency improvements. We have done these projects in Wise Biometrics, which is Pune-based company. If you're interested, we can share that. The air emission controls using a proper preheating for the boilers, using solar again, so there is no energy wasted. The optimizing of the existing efficiency calculations is a pure engineering improvisation projects, cogeneration, efficiency on DG sets, energy distribution, power factor improvisation, the cooling water, hot water, compressor lines having a proper insulations. And this list can continue. I mean, there are so many projects we have been doing that there is very little that I can cover in this. But these are some of the glimpses that all of you can start thinking on and on the similar line start adopting. Shall we go next, Weber? Yes. Ultimately, we are aiming at the technical feasibility and available technology because unless the technology is available, we have adequate space, we have adequate skilled manpower, you cannot go ahead. However, you can buy the credits. For example, in Suzlon, they have allowed a wind farm which is readily established with the wind pattern, and you can own a windmill. You don't have to do anything, you have to simply invest in that windmill. And that is your contribution towards sustainability. If you go by metro, the metro it has you have to reduce the carbon footprint. So simple things where the technology is readily available, publicly available, please invest on that. Look at your energy impacts and the issues related to safety and quality as well as profitability. See to it proper maintenance is done because simple dedusting can enhance your energy efficiency. So timely cleaning, timely maintaining your equipment, having a proper spare also adds value. If you have some good projects and the funds, then management acceptance also and the management priorities also can be taken up to have variety of methods. But logically, at least start putting the proposal with the buyback methods, the rate of returns and the net value calculations so that you'll get an easy approval. A simple Excel sheet we can always help you out in facilitating these green projects. Choice is yours whether to get into it. Shall we go next, Weber? Weber, the problem is this is such a passionate field that I can spend a whole day. You will have to tell me where to stop, isn't it? Please take care of the time
Yes, ma'am.
management. A simple exercise is I have given 3 options like use of solar, use of EV, substitute fuel, load balancing options by using a SCADA, alternate processes, a hybrid project, or use the 40 engineering technology. What save and what is a payback period, and then based on that, you decide what be or go. So whatever comes priority, you have to act on. It's a simple calculation. You all should be going for it, isn't it? Shall we go? Weber? Okay. I would suggest those of you who are participating in this seminar at least should follow some checklist. And while walking around in your plant or wherever you are working, try to see there are no leakages for the steam traps or condensate recovery or use of variable frequency drives, or they have a proper energy efficient pumps, fans, air compressors, refrigerations. Even at home, you can try that. Adopt the combustion methods for maximum combustion efficiency. Optimizing energy requirement wherever not needed. Use your cycles or otherwise. Don't use fuel. Use a common public transport. Stuffing of compressor, shuffling of compressor where the capacity is not needed. Don't use it because you're unnecessarily wasting it. Optimizing for the transformer operation with respect to the loads, the demand calculations. These are simple things that you all should go back and check and improvise so as to save the money and adverse impact on the environment. Shall we go next? Ultimately, what we are talking about is your environmental governance for your business sustenance. So please look at the interactions due to business, identify the resources, natural resources, energies, emissions, and together. Next slide, please, Weber. Can you scroll down? Look at the process related water and the water consumptions. If possible, conduct water audit because the most commonly used natural resource is water in your industry. So start working on water consumption, and that is the most wasted resource because you feel it comes free. So other than water, whatever are the natural resources, focus on using the 3R: reduce, reuse, recycle. Now, people talk about repository application. It's a parallel meeting and seems to be little disruptive. I'm sorry, apologies for that. Shall we go next, Weber? Because the minute I get disconnected, Weber keeps on calling me, and that is another disruption. These are nothing but action plans designed. Early. Weber, can I see the next slide?
Ma'am.
Technically, the next slides are not visible, Weber, or you have stopped those slides?
Screen is visible, ma'am. Hello?
Yeah, shall we go next? Please go next. Shall we go next, Weber? Weber, next slide, please. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
ma'am, I
the
have
concept.
changed, ma'am.
Yeah, now I can see that. So what we are focusing on is value addition. So look at your inventories if they are having any adverse inventories, any reworks, any wastages. You have to cope up with the dynamics because of the changing market. People say we did it because customer was demanding, now they have stopped it. But see how best an alternate application can be done. The issues can be if you can't cope up, people will not stick up with you. There will be attritions. And when people leave again, there will be wastages. The overall discipline will get challenged. The machines will start underutilized. So all these wastages are a painful activity. You have invested money, you are not getting returns. So it becomes a very frustrating vicious cycle. But the minute you start acting efficiently, working with the team, you start getting positive results. Get your team motivated. There is a book called Idli, Orchid and I, which is written by Kamath, and it's worth reading it. He has used environment for his business integration and promotion, got his team integrated with it, not only contributed to environment, it was the first ecotail in India, but he has given how best he has overcome his financial burden using that. Worth studying that. It is a very good project. Shall we go next? Next slide. Vaibhav, am I audible?
Your voice is breaking sometimes, but
Team
now it's
members, can you hear me? Yeah, thank you.
There is lots of voice breaking. Clarity is
Y-
not.
clarity is not.
Can you hear me now? Is it better?
Is
Yeah, now I'm virtually holding the mic. So we are talking about the cost aspect of sustainability. It impacts or reduces inventory carrying cost, any other administrative cost, material cost, which is otherwise a wastage, energy consumption cost, and indeed the labor cost. So all this is nothing but the lean and thin enterprise. So at times these projects are also called as a green lean projects. Shall we go next? Hello, Vaibhav, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
So start identifying which are the high inventory areas. Look at the wastages. Look at the complaints. Look at your late deliveries, process defects, attritions, and scrap. These are very much your business parameters. But if you start controlling these issues, which are required for your business, you're also contributing to environment. So this is how you can integrate sustainability with your business. Shall we go next? Hello. Hello. Yes. So start having the whole life cycle perspective. Don't pass on your dirty job to your suppliers. Always look at what cost you're producing. Have that profitability, people, and planet at the background where you can talk about safety, impact analysis, energy, and also contribute to CSR wherever you can. Shall we go next? Government of India has launched this lean scheme, and I'll request all of you who are interested to join in this drive because this helps you in getting into green projects, green lean projects. The next few slides are just the few slides that Government of India have. Whether you can go quickly through it. Can we go to the next slide? Yeah. So these are different initiatives that
ma'am, your voice is breaking.
Hello, I request all the participants, please be there. There is
We
some
have truly.
network
We
issue
have
at madam side.
We can go to the last slide, Weber. It slides in between are just talking about various government scheme. Weber, please go to the last slide. Those of you who are interested in government scheme can reach to me directly. My last slide, this is Z. Next, please. The protocol of Z, it is available. So shall we go? Yeah, this is my contact details. I would be happy to help you out directly or through ICS platform or through Quality Council of India or any other media. So, that our bit of apologies for
Ma'am,
the
your voice is
disagreement,
breaking,
but
ma'am.
and free to me so we can deliver and contribute better and better. This is all from my side, Weber. If there are any questions, we can deliver. Otherwise, we can conclude.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I request all the participants, if you have any question, you can unmute yourself and I'll direct it to the ma'am.
Weber, this is a new topic, so nobody seemed to have any questions.
There is a question in the
What we
chat
can
box. There is a question in the chat box, ma'am, from Dipti ma'am.
you to share you can participate. Please read it for me. Weber, please read it for me.
Some example on circular economy
Okay,
for sustainability improvement.
right. Have you heard of Siporex bricks? Siporex bricks are made up of from the ash which is coming out from the coal of the thermal plant. So after burning of a coal, that left ash gets circulated the plant was I audible when I gave you an example of the thermal plant ash being used by Soporex bricks? Dipti, could you hear me? Any of the participant can respond. Was I audible?
No, ma'am, you are not audible. I request all the participants to please be there. Ma'am will join within few minutes.
Hello, am I audible now?
Yes.
Yeah, now we get connected. I switched over the device. Is it better? We
Yeah,
can
ma'am,
go.
just switch on your camera.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Hello, ma'am, are you there?
Yeah, very much there. I'm not able to hear any question.
So can you, ma'am, just repeat that Dipti ma'am's question answer?
Okay, fine. We are talking about circular economy. And basically, circular economy is output or the waste from one unit being used as a raw material for second unit. So in case of a thermal power plant, the waste generated from the thermal power thing, that is a ash, burning of a coal produces a lot of ash. There are bricks called Siporex brick. They use this ash as a raw material and make bricks for construction. So the ash, which would have been a wastage otherwise, is now used for construction as a raw material for Siporex. Do you appreciate? So no longer we are deteriorating the earth, but utilizing it for the business purpose. So this waste of one unit getting utilized for the other unit is called as a circular economy. Are we clear on this, Dipti ma'am? Am I audible?
Yes.
Good. Any other points? This is a new topic and I'm sure you will need some time to absorb it. I've tried to give you a lot of checklist points that you can start working on. It's my sincere request that you start pondering on it. If possible, I'll request Vaibhav to circulate this courseware to you all, the PPTs to you all, and also your contacts to me so that I can be in touch with you one-to-one, because this is a vast field. We really need to explore what best we can do. And we also need to know what government benefits and schemes are associated and helping us out. Is that okay? Weber, will you be able to do that? My sincere apologies for the disruptions that we had in between, but it is my request that we all take up this more meticulously so that we can contribute to this Mother Earth and for the cause and for the sustainability. Is that okay and acceptable to you all, team?
So I request all the participants and delegates, if you have any question, you can unmute yourself and ask directly to the ma'am, or you can put your questions in the chat box also.
Vaibhav, it is too new field. I don't anticipate there'll be any questions. My request is, will you be able to
We
share
can,
the
yeah, ma'am, we can wait for
presentation
few
to all
minutes.
participants? You have the details?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So participant, please put your email IDs and ensure that they are shared with Weber or with me so that we can get connected. This is such a vast field that covering it in 1 hour is impossible, but I'll still try to give you some checkpoints that you can go back and prepare your action plans and you can work on it in future.
Okay. So I
Is that
think,
okay
ma'am,
for
there
you?
is no more questions. So can we move ahead?
Sure. I mean, what is the next point we can conclude is sharing of the action plan or sharing of the government scheme once again quickly, or concluding the session.
One time government scheme, ma'am.
Okay, so please, Vaibhav, share the government scheme. The first and the most important scheme. Yeah, go to the end. Go to the end. Yeah. Yes. So this is a lean scheme. If you have a valid Udyam, please mail it to me. You please jot down my mail ID. I'm putting it in the chat message also for you all. It is ssg@zen International dot systems. And my WhatsApp number is I have also shared it in my last slide. You can scan it and keep it with you. So those of you who are interested in getting the benefits of this free learning of Toyota management system need to verify their Udyams. If you can share your Udyams, I'll verify it, because of being an organizing partner, I can help you out in getting access to this free learning of Toyota management system. Then you'll have to go to the higher level. That is an intermediate level if you think it is interesting and it is adding value to your business, where some consultancy organization will help you. It can be me or anybody else that of your choice. And you will get highly subsidized. 95% fees will be borne by Government of India for you to improvisation and waste reduction. Ultimately, your name, when you complete an advanced level, you will get a certificate at every level, will be displayed on the Quality Council of India or Government of India website. So any other agency who is interested in tying up with you will always prefer you as the best company across the country. So that adds some business advantage also. Are we clear on this? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Shall we go next, Vaibhav? Am I audible? Thank you, Vaibhav.
Yes, ma'am. Totally.
So we are talking about the next scheme, which is called as the MSME Sustainable Scheme. This is for empowering and making MSME sustainable. You can get registered on the Z portal, which is free. Again, the protocol is having your Udyam verification. You can do it independently or route it through us or through me. I'll definitely help you out in getting further. After that, you have to upload certain photographs as an existence of your organization. And there is a desktop feedback, and assessor gives you what you need to further improvise on. And then there are some nominal charges depending on your scale. If it is like woman enterprise, it is totally free. If it is a micro, at the cost of say 2,000 rupees, you get a site visit and then you get a further improvisation. And once you submit those improvisation, you get it certified. Your name appears on Government of India website as a sustainable organization. So you also get a lot of incentives, and I'm sure all of you will be happy to get associated on this. Shall we go next? Vaibhav, next slide, please. Yeah, these are the steps as elaborated. You generally have to have a commitment and focus on 20 parameters, starting with leadership, Swachh, that is 5S, then the safety, timely delivery, quality management, which I'm sure all of them can do it. Then the HRM, human resource, daily works management, the maintenance, process control, quality and safety. So these 20 parameters are required for any and every organization to take care of the wastage, employee engagement, stakeholder satisfaction, and risk mitigation. So ultimately, an organization which does the first 14 gets certified for silver after one site review. And the organization meeting to all 20, there is another site review and you get certified for a gold level. Gold is a world-class champion level where you get a good amount of business and you're considered to be a role model industry. So a lot of incentives in participation. Can you go to the next slide, Vaibhav? There is a list of incentives. Yeah, it is free for women enterprises and the fees are highly subsidized for micro, small and medium. So these fees are also revised. That bronze, which was 10, has become 8 now. That 40 has become 30 now. And again, it gets subsidized to 80%. So 80% of 80 is hardly 1,600 rupees. And if you're a woman enterprise, it is free. So these government is reducing fees day by day so that more and more units should get engaged in it. Shall we go next? Next slide, please, Vaibhav. Yeah. This is a whole glimpses. I mean, you get a benefit. I'm sorry, Vaibhav. The previous slide, we couldn't see it, but hopefully there's some glitch at my end or you people are seeing. Thank you. So you can see international convention participation subsidize the corporations for financial assistance, the loans, the freight charges, the patents, waiver for processing fees. So it's a whole list of activities. Probably Weber has some other engagement, so we'll skip it. But those of you who are interested can always write to me and reach me. Shall we go next, Weber? So we have to take the time, squeeze the time. We feel we don't have a time, but unless we spend the time, we can't do anything. Don't think it is not for me, because environment is for everybody. You also say me alone, what it will be do, but together we can do a lot. The customer is not forcing you now, but there's every chance customer will start forcing you. Don't think there are no returns. Government is serious about giving you some incentives. Don't ever think that why alone, because when you start working alone, people will join you. Overcome your barriers, overcome your limitations, and be committed for sustainability. Shall we? If you're ready, we'll go to the next slide, please. Weber, next slide. These are the few references where you'll get the inputs for all that what I've talked. Let me thank you to QCI, NPC, and all the other associates. That was all from my side, including the government schemes. There is one more scheme called RAMP, which I have not added, which is very recently launched. And that gives you digitization support as well. We do a lot of training on the platform of Maratha Chamber of Commerce. These are all free trainings. And those of you who are in Pune can join for these trainings. Just send a mail or text to me on WhatsApp. You'll get these invites. That is all from my side. Thank you, Weber. Just go to the last slide. So those of you who are interested, they can take down the contact details. Next, the previous one. Yeah, thank you. So team, if you're interested in ZED, Lean, RAMP or any other learning, please share your Udyam number or your Udyam certificates on these contacts below, and we'll get back to you. If you have any questions, we can address that. Otherwise, this was all from my side. I tried to give you the maximum I can. Sorry for the disruptions, but let's be in touch to see what best we can do. Nobody interested? Nobody wants to avail benefits worth 40 lakhs? How many of you will like to take up this as an action plan? Hello. Some response I'm expecting from the participants. Am I audible, Vaibhav?
Yes, ma'am, audible.
Fine, they will probably like to think, study, go into details. So please share the PPTs to all participants.
Yes, ma'am.
And we can address the questions one as to one, because this is a pretty vast topic. We cannot have an open interactions in this whole process, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So shall we conclude? If there are no
Yes, ma'am.
questions, team?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Good day. Enjoy your weekend. And almost New Year is touching us, so enjoy. Bye-bye.
So thank you, ma'am. So our next session is on 20th December on topic scrutiny and assessment in income tax. It shall be taken by Ms. Namrata Tande. She shall cover how to respond to outstanding demands under income tax, alternate remedies for responding to demand rates, followed by question and answer session. ICS is pleased to provide you all its research and development integrated management system, that is QMS, CMS, and OHSS. Excellence in education management, ISO made easy in Gujarati, Marathi, Telugu, and Hindi. For reading any of the above book, please contact Ms. Sushma Kindalkar on the given contact details. Feedback form, please register on www.sadgunsan.org and go in your login and give your valuable feedback to us. So thank you, Sanjuni ma'am. Thank you all the participants for being part of today's Sadgun San. Now it's time to officially close the session. Thank you, everyone.